So why the upgrade? Well, the 1626 doesn't do a couple of things that I'd like to do. I can't lift the heavy weights with the front of that. I mean, it's about 1,500 pounds lifting capacity, but that will not get a full pallet of pellets off of my truck for the winter. And we go through four of those. And also, now that we're doing a lot more logging in the woods, I'd like to be able to pick up and move some larger logs with little less sketchy behavior, let's just say. And I know you can't tell because nothing shows on video, but I am standing in the middle of a hill, and it's most of my land is really hilly, steep in many places. So uh, it gets a little sketchy sometimes if we got to go across the side hill or an angle. With the 1626, the 4540 has, I think, about 18 inches wider wheelbase and a little width and a little bit longer wheelbase. So it's going to be a whole lot more stability. So unless I want to go filling the tires, this is going to be, I mean, it should be a monster on its own. If that's not enough, we will fill the tires and see what happens from there. Okay, do a little bit of a walk around here. I did my best to line the buckets up about as close as I could across the front edge. So I'm just going to kind of go sideways. You can see the 4550 is substantially taller. The tires are much larger. And I have, well, I mean, just look at that. It's almost the width of the tire on the 1626, an additional length from bucket to tail. Now I know that doesn't make a big difference with stability. The wheelbase itself is the uh, variable for stability there. But surprisingly, I mean, I've got the longer finish mower still hanging on the back of this. Haven't taken it off yet this year. And I mean, that if I was to have the back blade on the 1626, it would really just reach the back tires or the back edge of the 4540. So height wise, I mean, I can't get up there to her. I only got so much of a reach, but let's see here. Let me swing the camera around. Okay, I'm standing directly in front of the wheel on the 1626, and I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm going to try and hold the camera, oh, I don't know, right about eye level here. So you can see that, I don't know, my chin line is probably about the top of the seat there, and let's just see here. I mean, this is top of the tires, kind of right around my top of my belt line. So let's take a little walk over here. I'll stand in the same place on the 4540. And I got to tell you, this surprised me when I went to get the tractor because I haven't checked one of these out firsthand before I kind of agreed to buy one and drive to New York and pick it up. So, okay, again, standing at the same place, in front of the right side tire, and I'm going to try and keep the camera about eye level here. And I mean, well, it doesn't quite show well here because there's a bit of a distance between me and the seat now, more of a distance, I should say. So the top of the seat is probably almost near the top of my head, and the top of the tire now is kind of mid torso on me. So that's a big deal. Another one here. I'll just stand right here, standing next to the ROPS on this thing. Okay, again, I'm 6 foot tall, so that means the bend point. Let's see here, hinge point. So when you fold the ROPS, it's about even with the top of the lights here, and that is about my ears. So that is nearly 6 feet tall. Let's see, I can't quite get in on the 1626, but I can get closer with it. Folded ROPS here is maybe down around my shoulders. So it's quite a bit taller. I was I was shocked when I stood next to this thing. In fact, I'm going to insert a couple of pictures here because I almost ran out of trailer picking this thing up. I took just about every inch front to rear, and I did take every inch side to side. This tractor just barely fit between the wheel wells on my equipment trailer. So let's take a closer look at some of the details here and see what's going on. Okay, we're looking at a 6-foot bucket. I believe it's a 72-inch bucket on the 4540 versus a 60-inch, a 5-foot bucket on the 1626. 1 foot in width is a pretty good difference, but the bucket handling capacity, I mean, the depth of the bucket. Let me, oh, there you go. My boot is just about a perfect foot depth. So we got, I don't know, maybe 14-inch depth there. And then I'll use the yellow there. And this one, go to the back of this bucket. And, there's 6, 7, almost 8 inches probably to the far of this. Not to mention the bucket's substantially taller. It's got to be 4 or 5 inches taller. So I want to say this heaping bucket, I think, is just about a half of a cubic yard. This is maybe a fifth of a cubic yard. So, I mean, 5 trips with the 1626 versus 2 trips with the 4540. You have to excuse me. I haven't cleaned this up. I just got back with it yesterday, took it off the tractor. We drove back in some misty rain. So, the tractor is kind of covered with some schmutz. But I put away all the power washing equipment for the winter already. So that's just going to have to wait for a little bit of a rainfall here. We get a couple warm days. I'll clean it up just to get some of the road salt off it from the drive home. I will say this is something I noticed pretty quickly, and I'm not sure if it's a problem or not. I did see somebody online had tweaked their loader front end, probably doing something they weren't supposed to do, but it happens sometimes. You're in a pinch, you got to work with what you got. This bucket is in fact pretty bent, I can say. It goes down and then up and then over, and they had drilled and tapped a hole in the back, welded a big nut on the bottom or something for some implement. I know they're using a hay bale spear on that. But back to the point here is you got the 2 hitch points, then you just have that one tube going through there, and it's a decent heavy wall tube. I think it's 1/4 inch heavy wall tube or better. So it has decent torsional strength. But I mean, if you look at the crossbar setup on the 1626, given it's stamped steel, but it's like 1/4 inch stamped steel, and I don't know. I guess engineers will know better than me. If you know why they did it that way, let me know in the comments below. I know the tube steel will have more torsional strength than the say the box steel, but it just seems, I don't know, it just seems a little bit strange. I got the tube running across, and then they have they do have a sheet running down the back that ties into the lower points, but to me, it just doesn't look quite as strong, but I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody out there will tell me for sure. Okay, so the front of the tractors, I gotta say, kind of lacking grill protection, but it does come with a good grill guard. Big, probably 5/16 flat bar made grill guard. I'll probably put something on there. A little easier access to the engine on this than on the 1626, but hopefully you don't need to get in there all that often. But I'm going to give this one a full service just because it's new to me, and there's a couple little spots that need attention. This steering guard here was kind of beaten, mangled. It's still out of place, but I may have to take that off, bend it straight, and then maybe reinforce it to make sure it's not weakened too much. But I just bent that back so it wouldn't contact the rim, the cylinder rim. So this is what it's kind of supposed to look like on this side. So, all right, let's move back a little bit. Okay, another quick comparison, just for size. This the front point of the loader here, top point of the loader here is yeah, it's approaching my shoulder height. Whereas again over here, this is down around my waistline. So the front arm on these things is substantially longer. This I was gonna reach all the way out here. I mean, this is got to be all of 5 foot long from the top arm, and let's come over to the 1626, and this is maybe 3.5 feet. So the reach, I mean, the 1626 is good. I could get things up in my dump truck with this tractor without too much of a problem. I picked up some lumber on the side of the road here a week or two ago. This one here, you put this bucket up at its top height, and it's ridiculous. I don't want to be in that bucket at that height. I got to look at the stats, but I'll try and remember to stick them in here. But this bucket goes way up, and yeah, it's just everything is just massive on this. I do like the idea of let me spin around again. Okay, I really like the idea of all the hard lines coming up to the loader. You don't get into the flex lines or over lines until you pretty much need them. Over here on the 1626, I like the fact that some of the lines are enclosed in the loader arm. Excuse me for the blur, but it's still all flex lines. It's rubber lines. So that is another thing I like. I gotta say, access to, you know, you want to get to the engine. I don't even have the hood open, and I can still access an awful lot of what I would need. And you don't get that convenience over here. And I'm gonna say a lot of people complain about Mahindras and say that their bolts loosen up on a regular basis. I really haven't had that problem. I mean, I've had to think tighten one bolt in the 7 years I've had the tractor. Over here, I can already tell, and this was used on a 58-acre farm, I think, or whatever, but I can already see, you know, I got 2 bolts loose on this frame here, and so this is going to have to become a regular routine. I'm going to have to tighten these, check them quite regularly. I'll probably get a paint pen and mark them. Probably going to have the same thing with the lugs. I don't think I saw any loose on this one now, but yeah, that's something else to look for. I don't know if you guys just noticed while I was over here looking. Looks like that oil filter is not quite tight. It's seeping, draining, dripping just a tiny bit, but I did check the oil before I started the truck for the first time. That oil is just fine right now. Losing a drop or two here and there will be fine until I get to the service on it. But yeah, you can see the frame's a little shiny down there where it got a little wet. Also, the bigger tractor here, the 4540, has these frame connectors here. So it connects the whole front frame, engine, everything, all the way down through to the back and up to the rear of the transmission. So that is way more stout. I like this little toolbox here. Let's see, we got a little chain, some pins, a knife, toe pin. But yeah, that's nice. Look at this. The hydraulic filter is right here. I mean, maintenance on this should be a whole lot easier than what it is on the 1626. I mean, you know, the hydraulic filter is right there on that. That's accessible, but just getting under there is very difficult. And look at the frame supports here. This is stamped steel. I mean, that looks like a C-shaped stamped steel there too, but it's definitely much heavier gauge. And it's a bigger tractor, so it should be built stronger. Another big difference on these two tractors is, you know, I can kind of look down here. Okay, here's my kneecap. Deck height was right around my kneecap. Okay, I often step up into this tractor and don't use this step, but you know, it's a small cab. I mean, you know, right fender, right, my hand reaches way out beyond the wheels here, and there's I got the big coat on, but there's not a lot of room between the hand and the fender and anything. And I gotta be honest with you, like my last tractor, or I should say my first tractor, was a little tiny Kubota 6100, kind of like a little open frame, looked like the old school, you know, just what you would picture as an old school tractor, but really tiny. I barely fit on it. And so moving up to this felt sort of spacious and roomy and more comfortable. I get over there and I feel like it should have a bench seat because there's so much room in there. Yeah, it's just, it's going to take some getting used to. So, all right, same example on the 4540 is come down here. And this time my knee is closer to the step and the, the tractor deck is closer to my, I'll call it my hip line really. Definitely need to use the step to get into this one, but the good news is as you go up, don't mind the seat. It was just due on the tractor seat this morning, so I threw a towel in there so I wouldn't get my ass wet. So, because it's cold, and that wouldn't be a lot of fun. But no, I'm in the 4540. So, yeah, like I reach out here at my fingertips. Okay, so I'm 6 foot tall, so I got a 6 foot wide wingspan. My fingertips are, you know, touching the end of the fender here, and the tires go out beyond that. So I can't physically reach the width of this tractor. This tractor is 83 inches wide, we'll call it. I think it's 82.6, but yeah, that's almost 7 feet wide at the rear tires. The amount of space in this cab, okay, look down here. There's all the room in the world in here, okay. You know, you got your 3 point. There's a draft control. I don't know a lot about draft. I've never used it. I probably never will use it because I think it's more applies towards plowing and tension on the top link to I guess increase or decrease the depth of the 3 point implement as you're going through the ground to keep the a constant load on the tractor. But so I guess I do know what it does. I just don't probably think I'll ever use it because I'm not farming, I'm not plowing. But there is all the room in the world up here. In fact, I mean, I almost feel like I don't know. Like I could feel like I could bobble around with all the extra space in here. You feel like you're sitting in a tight bucket seat of a race car in that one, which has its own sort of comfort to it. But also, if you were to get into a wreck, and you're gonna have a hard time getting out because you're sardined in there. This one here, plenty of room. I do wish that I had more cup holders. I've got one cup holder down there, but I can make whatever I want on here. I mean, I've got clean building surfaces on top of these fenders. So, yeah, and I honestly, I reach up there, can I can barely touch the top of that ROPS. I'll probably be taking the rhino hide off of the 1626 and putting it on here. I've already listed the 1626 for sale with the rhino hide, but because I didn't think that the brackets on that would work on this ROPS because it's a bigger ROPS. But the bolts on that are long enough, so I'm probably going to swap that over, save myself $500 from going and buying a new one. This is a used tractor anyways, and it's, you know, it goes in the woods, it gets scratched up, beat up, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, the amount of space in this tractor it's like night and day. Now let's talk about the transmissions. All right, it's definitely going to take a little bit of getting used to for me to move on from using a hydrostatic transmission for the last 7 years into going into a shuttle style. Okay, so there's your brake, your right and left. I keep mine linked together virtually all the time, but if you don't know, in a hydrostatic transmission, all you do is press on that pedal to go forward and that pedal to go backwards. Toe, heel, it's just that simple. The only time you're going to be using the clutch is when you're engaging or disengaging the PTO or PTO. That's up here, and or I'm going to go from the one of the 3 speeds, low, medium, or high. But that's about that. But it's almost foolproof to drive, to be honest with you. And in fact, you can even get it going at the speed you want. Hit cruise control here. That's kind of like a throttle lock. And yeah, so that's butter, you know, super, super easy. Over here, let's take a look. Okay, there's a little bit more going on over here in this compartment. Again, you still got your split brake locked together. It kind of looks similar to the other tractor. You've got that toe and the heel, but that is a throttle. So you're cruising along, you can keep your idle set where you want it, and that is a toe throttle. So you just sort of lift up your throttle when you need it. Say you want to accelerate, or say you want a little more, or you need a little more RPM to get a little more hydraulic fluid going to move the bucket or an implement quicker. The rear over there, that is a differential lock. That has nothing to do with the transmission part. Just locks your rear tires together when you're in two-wheel drive. Okay, so we're back to a stick shift or a shuttle shift, and the big lever right here, that's your gear selector. Have you looked down on the box here? It's just good old-fashioned 4 speeds forward, and 1 speed in reverse. And then next to that, the shorter handle you got here, that's your low and high. So you need to press your clutch to go from low to high, or to shift from 1 through 4 forward and reverse. And in low, you have the same 4 forward and 1 reverse. So overall, you have 8 forward speeds and 2 reverse speeds on this tractor. Now, the clutch is a whole different game here, because this is a 2-stage clutch. So a little bit of free play in the top of the clutch here. Don't want to ride that clutch too much. You'll end up just burning it up and costing yourself a lot of money. Then there's a detent. You can now part way. That does the first stage of the clutch. The first stage of the clutch is what you're going to use to operate the low to high speeds, or gears, high or low speed selector, or your 1 through 4 or reverse, your gear selector there. Then the only time you basically want to go, let me get on this, all the way down with the clutch into the second stage is when you want to engage or disengage your PTO here. PTO is, kind of the same location on the other tractor. It's just, this got to be 6 inches between the seat and the tractor here. I will say I'm going to have to find a better place. It's something to do with my phone, because phone comes out of my pocket on this tractor, and I'm not going to find it. I'm going to drive over it. We don't want that to happen. So maybe it goes in the shirt pocket. Okay, well, while we're in here real quick here, 2 or 4-wheel drive selector. Pull up for 4-wheel drive and drop it down for 2-wheel drive. Real simple. All right, let's take a little closer look at the backs of these tractors and the 3-point attachments. Okay, I'm at the back of the 1626, and everything's pretty common for a compact tractor. This is, not a whole lot to think about back here. You just have your 3-point arms, and here's the actual geared part that raises the 3 points. These are the bottom levers. These are your side stabilizers. You can adjust these to get the lower arm closer to or farther away from the tire to not interfere. And that's really not too much you can do there for adjustments. Okay, you've got you can change the length of the right side arm here to that would tilt your implement left to right, and you can adjust your top link up and down to basically adjust the angle of your implement on the back in that direction. But that's it. Not too complicated. Now let's look at the other ones. Okay, over here things are just, well, much beefier, we'll call it. And there's a few major changes too. And for the most part, I guess one of the biggest ones is going to be right here. Your top link is going into this arm, which pivots here, and there does some sort of a sensor in the transmission that will change the, what did we call it? The draft control. The draft control will basically raise or lower your arms just a little bit to keep the tractor at a constant power. I'll go lower here real quick. There's a transmission breather. I believe I can slide the seat forward, and I can change and fill, or check and fill the transmission fluid if I want there. The other place is right on the shifter control inside. But look at the beefiness here. This is like, okay, here's my thumb on this piece here. I mean, that's massive. Let's just take a quick peek over here and see what we got over here. Yeah, my thumb is bigger. So I mean, it's just beefier. Everything is beefier. The arms are beefier. The side-to-side stabilizers are beefier, and I have an implement on here right now I can't show you, but the ball inside these actually has two sets of holes. Actually, this guy's got the category 1 implement loaded up into the category 2 hole in the ball right now. I can, let me see, off to the side there, you see the other hole? There's the hole that should be in. I don't know if he was not aware of the what that does or not, but he you can tell by the PTO housing protector there that he may have not made some of the best choices. So, anyways, you can see there's also, let me do one more quick comparison over here. Uh, you just have a real simple drawbar attachment there, and it's just, a little bit of box steel and a pin. And over here is, it's a whole different animal. There's the big old pin that your front of your drawbar goes to, and then this has holes and locks, have those down the hill, so you can angle the drawbar. You should never angle the drawbar when you're towing a trailer because it just puts a lot of side pull on the tractor. But if you need to pull an implement to the side or something, you can do that. But look at this. This is all half-inch plate. This is, I believe, 1-inch bar down here, half-inch plate, half-inch plate, and you can see. Okay, there's 2 pin locations for the arms, so you can lower the inside of the arm down to the lower pin there, and that will change the effective lift height of the three point also. And that's something, I don't know if I'll use it or not, but it's nice to know it's there should I want to try. There is also, he backed into something because that's a little beat up there too. But there's look at that. We have a 7-pin trailer connector right in the back of here for on. And what I will probably do at some point is add a third function to this, or I might add rear remotes and then run a couple of lines from one of those up to the front as a third function, just so I can use my grapple and whatnot. But yeah, that's about all I can think of for the rear of this tractor. Now, if you were to be buying one of these new, the 4540 comes with the trailer hookup, but no remotes. If you go up 10 horsepower to the 4550, it comes with rear remotes already on it. But I don't really need them, and this was the tractor I had available to me at the time. I was shopping for one, and I think I got it at a fair price. So let me see, what else is there to talk about? All right, well, that's my new to me 4540 Mahindra, and I think I got a fair deal on it. There's a few bumps and bruises. I explained the bucket. There's a good sized dent right there. I don't know if it shows something fell on the hood at one point or whatever. The previous owner has removed the neutral safety switch and just bypass that. I will fix that because I don't know. I want it the way it's supposed to be. I think I showed you the 3-point housing there protector that got bent up. That's not too big of a deal. I can straighten that out without much problem. Well, a couple bumps, bruises, scuffs, whatever. But all in all, I paid $20,000 for this tractor here. And looking at the market locally or whatever, I think I can get $17,000 for my 1626. They're currently selling for a little over $25,000 new. I got the tire chains on that. I'm trying to buy tire chains for this right now. $950. Kind of crazy. I did add the LED light bar and spotlights on this, and I have it listed with the rhino hide canopy, but I think I'm going to remove that, swap it back over here. And that way there, all I need to do to this to make it the way I want it is put a little more lighting on it. And I tell you what, I'm not looking forward to it, but I hope I don't need the tire chains with this with all the extra weight, because if I do, these are $1,500 to $1,600 to put tire chains on wheels of this size. So, hoping I don't need that. So, anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. Put your comments below and like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and tell me what you want to see, or ask me whatever questions you want to ask, and I'll catch you on the next one.